Hey whales, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's July the 22nd. Let's recap the markets and go over the top stocks to buy for today. Now, we're going to go over not only my watch list, but as well as we'll review the different sectors in terms of where the money's flowing into and out of so we can make better informed decisions moving forward so we can make a lot of gains together. Now, before we get started, though, just to give you an idea in terms of how I'm doing so far for my trades this year, doing really well, up 90.9K USD in profit, 60% win rate across the board, guys. Super proud of myself so far. I did start with 100K at the beginning of this year, so doing really well. We did win across companies on Palantir and SBET yesterday for day trades. So you can see from the month of July, very, very solid month overall, right? Up almost 10.1K USD in profit. So hopefully I can keep up this momentum for the rest of the weeks ahead. Last month, we did about 11.5K USD in profit, and then in May, 11.9K. So yeah, very, very solid month overall so far. And again, guys, all my trades that you see here, everything from Palantir to Netflix, they're all posted in Discord. So come join Discord. You get the exact day trade ideas, swing trade ideas. You get commentary on exactly when I get in and get out of trades as well. So very amazing community that you can join. So I look forward to seeing you here. We'll make a lot of money together. The link is in the description. All right, so with that said, let's jump in, guys. So I want to go over first the S&P 500 just to give you guys a roadmap and understanding of where we are today. So we are extremely bullish as of now. We broke to all-time highs. However, there is a bit of a warning to come into place because I am starting to see some bearish divergences starting to form on these smaller time frames, guys. So these levels, in my opinion, we won't be getting larger green days. It's going to be a grind up higher until the bears decide to kick in and ultimately go down for a deep wave 2 here in blue. Okay, so I do think that the bottom is in, but just know these are the levels not to chase, guys. These are the levels, in my opinion, you should be looking to trim rather than trying to squeeze out the last bit of profits here. It's starting to look a little bit shaky. Okay, you can see from the moving averages, from the swing lows to the swing highs, we are about 11% extended here from the past. Let's see how far we were extended. 15% right before the larger drawdown, right? 12%. Okay, so you got to be a little bit scared. 17, 16%. So we are almost there, guys. A few percentage points away before it starts to get very serious. Okay, so just be careful with that rubber band snapping. And again, these are the levels to be trimming, in my opinion, rather than buying and going in deep. If you want to go in deep, wait for a little bit of a pullback here or for blue too. Okay, stay patient. August and September are coming, the 2 worst months of the year. All right, let's keep going to the Qs for technology. So same thing, guys. We're looking for higher, but this wave 2 larger drawdown is pending. Okay, it is lurking in the distance. So just be mindful. We are getting bearish divergences starting to form. And again, we are very extended from the moving averages. We are about 15% away, guys, from historic levels, right? We were 21% away, 23% away. So still some time possibly to go up. But these are the times not to go in pretty aggressively. You can still keep pushing the markets higher, go in on the smaller time frames to keep pushing the markets higher for day trades and weekly option plays, but in terms of just swing trades, be mindful of where you are. If I go to the energy sector, guys, energy sector is starting to find support here, but there is a possibility, guys, that we make one more swing low, and this would turn into a double correction, yeah? Okay, so energy could do something like this, so just be careful. And this does look like a distribution top potential. So we're not calling it yet. But that is something I'm keeping a lookout for. This is why I'm not playing energy right now. I need some more clarity. We need to break some highs for me to be a little bit more certain. For XLF, for financials, continues to lead the market here. I do think banks still look pretty good. I'm looking for one more wave higher, right, before this larger 2 wave. So very similar to the S&P 500. Industrials, very similar as well. Looking for extensions higher before lower for a deeper retracement. So industrials have been looking pretty good, but there's no way I'd be chasing at these points. For XLP, so think of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, right? I do like it a little bit lower, guys. This looks like a Coca-Cola chart. I know they report earnings for today, but if we do get a downside break, I would love to add Coca-Cola to the portfolio. right? So somewhere around the mid 70s would be awesome. Real estate, you guys know my real estate thesis. I am bullish on real estate. Could happen to go down one more time to retest some of these lows, but I do think real estate is the next 2026 play here, consolidating nicely for move higher. Okay, so keep a lookout for real estate companies. XLV. So XLV, I mentioned to this yesterday. I do think that we have a potential primary path lower. This doesn't look like a low yet, guys. It looks a little bit shaky here. So I am looking for one more swing low for healthcare to come down. Okay. Now, surprise, wave 2 can be in, of course, and we hold these lows, but it does look a little bit better down here, to be honest. Okay, to test these lows. All right, let's keep going. For XLY, so think of companies like Amazon, Nike, Tesla is starting to catch up, guys. Starting to catch up. So I do like XLY right now for the next rotation a little bit. So look for Amazon, Tesla to try to break towards the upside here. Let's see and catch up. And then finally, for the miners, like gold miners, silver miners, they're looking extremely bullish, guys, right? Looking for extensions higher. But again, we are really overextended. From the moving averages, we're about 24% away. Last time, we got up to even 50%. So there can still be room to run. But these are levels, in my opinion, that for me, I'm not going to be chasing, yeah? All right, so with that said, we have sort of the coverage in the markets. Let's go over the watch list here. So as you guys know, I love to look for plays in multiple different patterns. Accumulation patterns, bull flags for continuation, inverse head and shoulders for reversals, larger pullbacks on very high momentum stocks, earnings beats. So I like to look for positions on companies that beat their earnings, and also top losers of the day. So let's go over all of them and in rapid fire, okay? So one of the first names that I'm looking at, again, you guys know I'm in from the lows on Apple. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So you guys know I'm in from the lows on Apple, but it continuously starts to consolidate and go sideways. So we had this large move down, and Apple has been one of the worst performers of the S&P 500 or of the Mag 7s. So keep a lookout for Apple starting to look better. It's not breaking down. So look for a reversal moving forward, okay? For Tesla as well, starting to consolidate nicely into this pennant, right? So I'm more inclined to call this bullish rather than bearish. Now, again, it can turn into a channel here as well. So it can retest the bottom of this channel, worst case scenario, and try to push up. So that is another sort of idea here that Tesla can do. But overall, as long as these lows hold, I would be a buyer in Tesla rather than a shorter. AMT. If my charts can cooperate here. Yep. So AMT. So as you guys know, AMT is in the real estate market or the real estate industry, and you know I'm bullish on real estate, guys. So great company, great dividends. Again, it had a huge downtrend, consolidating sideways, trying to go back to all-time highs. So this is something to definitely keep a lookout on your radar. IonQ. So IonQ is interesting as well. It is starting to sort of coil within this pennant formation. A little bit riskier. So if you want it a little bit riskier, you can go in here on IonQ. All right, but just be careful, right? It is a very volatile name. For Walmart. So as you guys know, I am a Costco shareholder. So with Walmart, again, starting to look more sideways. So look for Walmart to try to extend higher here in the future. Now, again, same thing as Tesla. It can turn into a channel and retest the lows of this channel before higher, okay? Now, let's go to the bull flags. So the first one I like is Ball Corporation. So Ball is looking decent here for a flag, right? So you're looking at potential like 57s as a potential buy here as well, all right? So you're looking for something like this before $60. For Kava. So Kava's an interesting one. It's been beaten to death on the weekly time frame, right? So it's at pretty good support, finding some lows. If I go down to the smaller time frames as well now, if you're looking for an entry on Kava, we had this sort of breakdown, and now it's making a higher low for the first time. So if it's making a higher low, you can start pulling your fibs, and now you can try to get in on the retracement, on the retests back here. So if it goes to 85, you're looking for at least 90 to 92 bucks on Kava. For Cracker Barrel is looking a little bit better as well, making higher lows for the first time again, right? So it's starting to look like a pennant, possibly. So you can buy the dips on this on Cracker Barrel with a stop underneath the new daily higher low that's been established at 63 bucks. So anywhere around these levels would be interesting for a chance at 68 to 70 bucks on Cracker Barrel. For Celsius is looking a little bit interesting here, right? So we're starting to get 7 swings down, it looks like. Right? This is the last swing low on the daily, so we take the fibs from there. So it is coming close to 43 to 42 bucks. That could be an interesting entry on Celsius, right? For 45.52, you would put your stop loss right here underneath 40 bucks. So good R&R. Carvana. So Carvana is a more riskier play because I do see bearish divergence, right? You see this swing high, right? So we made higher highs on price but lower highs on RSI on the indicator. So this could be a larger degree sort of correction into the future. So just be careful of that. But, you know, you can't ignore the fact that this is a pretty noticeable fractal here. So if it comes and retests sort of these highs at 332, could be interesting, right? For a play at 382 to 413. For Delta Airlines, I do like the airlines, guys. I do like leisure companies right now. So if Delta comes down a bit, this is the last swing, daily swing low, right? So this is where you pull the fibs from at 48. So yeah, I mean, it can hold 54, it can come down to 51 even. So these are levels that make sense on Delta Airlines to take a chance at for 60 to 64 bucks. Let's keep going for Dash. Dash again, similar to the other names, right? It's starting to put a higher low on the daily. So what you can do now is take the swing lows like this and play retracements down to 234 with a stop now in validation underneath the new daily higher low set at 232, right? So you would be targeting, if it comes down, 245 to 249. So good R&R on Dash. For GD, General Dynamics has earnings coming up, I believe today, right? So again, if it comes down a bit, let's take the extensions on the one-to-ones, right? So we like to project extensions out using fib extension tools. So it could be interesting levels down here at 293. Let's also take a look at the last swing low. I mean, there is confluence here a little bit, right? At these levels at 290s. So look for that as a potential landing zone for GD. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is starting to coil a little bit, right? If it does break down a little bit more, guys, I would love that, but not sure if it's going to break down, okay? Because we did put in another, if you can see, we put in a very truncated lower low here. So 3 waves are in, so that technically could be the low here. So if that's technically the low, you can actually use that as a stop loss moving forward. And you're going to take your fib retracements and look for retracement levels from, you know, anywhere between the 700s like this, right? And you're going to look for 723 to 733 stop loss underneath 691. For Hilton again, I like these travel names, guys, on these retracement pullbacks here. So the last pivot low was here on the daily. So if Hilton can come down to 268 down to 266, would be an interesting level for a chance at least to 283. The 289, you can put your stop losses underneath this level at 262, right? So you guys can see sort of how I decipher the markets like this, guys. As a full-time trader, I do these every single day, especially with the Discord group, right? And I comment on exactly the different stocks that I go into, right? I don't go into any of these, or not all of these, right? I only signal the ones that I think has high conviction, but these are all the different plays that I like to look at. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? If you put in an equal lengths sort of extensions, let's take a look, right? There is confluence at 64 bucks, guys, here. 64 bucks would be interesting for IBIT, for Bitcoin. IBM, same thing, right? This looks like a potential low. You can put your stop loss underneath this low at 279. Look for retracements back closer down and see if it can hold sort of these levels at 280s, right? So you're looking for IBM to hold these, at least try to get to 298 to 292, right? So good R&R there, very tight stop losses. For Illumina is pretty interesting as well. You're looking for a flag. I see 7 swings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you like to buy 7 swings down. It can turn into an 11 swing, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, and then something like this, right? It can do that as well. Make another marginal new low. But this looks pretty interesting, right? It doesn't look correct. It doesn't look impulsive down towards the downside. It looks more corrective. So maybe more possible upside on Illumina. Again, for jets, I like the airlines, guys. You can look for 3 swings down, closer to 242. Okay, down here, and even 230 or 23. Sorry, 24 bucks to 23 bucks for jets. Interesting play there. JP Morgan, same thing with Goldman, right? Looks like the low could be in here. So any retracement back down, guys, to 285. I mean, it already did that, and you see that reaction. So that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see the low set in place, pump, retracement down, closer to the retest levels, holding the new daily set at higher low before taking its upside to 300. So that's sort of the levels that I like to look on for bull flags and pennants, right? For Live Nation is a great company. It is a bit controversial in nature, but it is a heck of a moneymaker. So look for this coil towards the upside, trying to test all-time highs on Live Nation. Okay, so I do like these entertainment, leisure, consumer spending type companies. Same thing with Meta. I mentioned to you guys about Meta a lot of times here, right? We did reach the 618, guys. So this was your buy zone on Meta at 700. So you're looking for 766 at least, but it is almost at the 382, so it can do something like this or this, right? So you got in at 700s, you take half profits at 721, or you raise your stop loss from 678 up to this last swing low at 692. So you're risk free essentially. You take half profits, raise your stop losses to this level now, and you should be good to go. At least you take a chance. Reddit. So same thing with Meta, guys, right? Reddit bounced off the 618 nicely. Okay. So you're looking for these levels to hold now and try to get to at least 152. So if it gets there, you raise your stop loss from here to here at 138. Take half profits at 152, so you're risk-free because now you're looking at 172 to 85. All right. So this is how I play the swings. Red Rock, again, leisure is on a roll right now. I think these pullbacks could make sense for a chance. 53 down to 51 for Red Rock, right? Let's see. Possible this is the last daily set higher low. Yeah, I mean 52, right on confluence here. So look for Red Rock around those levels. Again, for Trip, another leisure name that you can look for, right? I think this one's a little bit more downside. This is the last daily higher low set. Okay, so looking for 16 bucks, guys, down here. Texas Instruments, they have earnings coming up. So we take the 3-wave swing. I like it lower to 209 to 203. Let's build some confluence here from the last swing lows. Yeah, so Texas Instruments, they like a little bit lower here, guys. There's Confluence at 203. So look for Texas Instruments at 203 for potential buy. Upstart. I like Upstart a little bit lower, guys, closer to 72. Right, so Upstart, Affirm, all those buy now, pay later companies could be interesting a little bit lower, guys. For Xylo, you guys know I like the real estate market as of right now. So if it does make another swing lower, this could be a buy closer to the last daily higher low set, which is around 74 to 73 bucks on Xylo, right? And will this have confluence on the 1-to-1? Yeah, a little bit. So it is looking for a little bit lower here, okay, on the 1-to-1 levels, around 73. All right, let's go to the inverse head and shoulders patterns now. So these are potential reversal patterns that you're looking at. Okay, so for the first one is Builders First Source. So Home Builders has been absolutely destroyed over the last couple years. But if Home Builders can come down closer to 114, guys, could be very interesting play for a chance. BSX as well. You can see you have the left shoulder, the head, possible right shoulder coming. I do like it a little bit lower, guys. So look for possible retest of maybe $100 would be interesting. So keep all these charts on your watch list, guys. Same thing with Campbell's. Campbell's is a little bit riskier because I don't see a potential bottom yet. This still looks like a downtrend, right? But for Campbell's, if it can hold these levels, could be a small little non-risky play, right? If you want to go in a little bit less risky, smaller position at $30, because it can still go down to 28. It is still in a downtrend, guys. All right. Dominion Energy, you guys know I am a fan of the utilities companies. This could be an add to your long-term portfolio as well. Look at this, right? So I'm expecting utilities to try to reach all-time highs on Dominion Energy. For pullbacks, so I like deeper pullbacks here. Look for Cardinal Health, right? You see Cardinal Health, good company. I like it lower 150s. Could be interesting. ERJ coming to very nice levels here. Very nice big pullback to closer to 46. Micron, last daily higher low set was here at 91. I like it closer to 104 down to 99. You can see Micron's a good company. All that support ready to go for you. Oklo. So guys, we've been in Oklo since $30 with the Discord group. Absolutely killing it on Oklo. We took 75% of our profits up here at $70, right? So very good positioning on my end and the Discord group members, right? But I like a retest closer to 57 for a chance, right? You can raise your stop losses to $50 if you want to, right? That's where we have our swing stops or trailing stops, right, at 50. Now for Shake Shack's a good company, guys. They're doing really well. I see 5 ways from this swing low. So, yeah, if it comes down closer to 124 to 119, this is the level you want to look at for Shake Shack. For Take-Two. Take-Two is a great company as well. Looks like 5 swings are in from this level. So you want to look at 223. So when you get experience, guys, you're going to start to understand where to take your fib pivots from. Okay, you're going to be able to train your eyes alongside myself, right? I will teach you how to train your eyes so you know how to pull the fibs correctly. Because a lot of people, they take the wrong fibs and it sort of messes up their confluence. So you got to be careful. Uber, I like it at 87 if it can come down. Next watch list is the earnings beat, guys. So these are stocks that I like to look at for earnings, right? Companies in the future that continuously have good earnings. So for Domino's, it is making higher lows here. I think it is a good value stock, right? Good dividends, good value. I wouldn't mind going into Domino's on these sort of retracements here and just zooming out, right? I like to just sort of take my levels. I mean, if it can retest down here 433, I don't know if it's going to come down there, right? Because we are setting in higher lows. But it could be an interesting one. I wouldn't mind taking Domino's as well for a long-term play. Verizon, right? So I do like Verizon, guys. I wouldn't bet against communications, right? This is the future. So you're looking at the 618 levels at $40 to 39 as a good play for Verizon, right? And even down here, I don't know if it's going to come down there, guys. Probably not, but those are sort of the levels for PepsiCo. It's still in a weekly downtrend. I don't like playing PepsiCo yet until I see some highs break, right? I want to see this high break, because what happens typically, guys, is that you get 5 swings in, breaks the highs, and comes back down. That's when you buy, right? Because now you have confirmation that the higher low is in, right? We broke this high. Now we have higher highs. So now we have higher lows, okay? Until then, it can still keep going down, guys. All right, that's why I don't like going in too early on companies that have had bad weekly downtrends. For American Express, amazing company, did really well, right? So this is the last swing high, or daily uptrend pivot at 281. So you can buy at 298 for first position. The second position would be down here at 251 down to 269. So 3 layered tranches. 1, 2, 3. Ryanair, great company, right? Funny social medias, but not the best here to chase, in my opinion. But I do think it can possibly take out these highs, right? So it'll post a 1, 2, like this, guys, right? 1, 2. This does look maybe a 3, 4, and then a 5 for ending diagonal. So ending diagonals sort of look like this wedge formation. So could be this, and then 3-wave lower, and then higher, right? So you want to buy the retracement. And I teach you guys all this, right, in the Discord, so you'll know exactly how to do these correctly. For TSM, these aren't the levels I want to chase on TSM. We are at my inverse fib levels, guys. 249, it ticked it right on the dot for my targets, right? So if that's the case, we want TSM to at least reach back down to 206. Right? These are your levels that you want to look at. So you have a tranche of orders here and a here. Okay, so these are not the levels that I'll be looking to buy at TSM. Of course, it can still go higher. It can go higher to 248, but I'll wait, guys. Not the best level. For ASML, great company, just bad guidance. Just take some simple fibs, right? 664 is where I want to build a position on. You can make a small little position here at the 382 because, of course, it can hold those levels, but it'd be interesting, right? But I do like it a little bit lower. For Kinder Morgan, so Kinder Morgan's a good company. I do think it's in the energy sector, right? But again, for energy, possibly could come down to 25 here. And, this can turn into a double easily, something like this before higher. So there's another tranche down here in Kinder Morgan at 2020 or $20, right? So just be careful there. UAL, United Airlines. Again, I do like the airline sector. United, I think, is a interesting company, but it is right at resistance, guys. This is not the levels I want to buy into. Of course, it can reach all-time highs, but just not for me, yeah? Aerospace, GE, again, not the levels for me at this point, right? Not the levels for me. Could turn into a ending diagonal. IBKR, again, not the levels for me, guys. If we take the inverse fibs, we ticked right on my targets, right? 65. So not the levels yet for me. Again, it can put in these sort of retracements and higher. Don't get me wrong. It can do that. Wells Fargo. I like it a little bit deeper. If it can come down closer to 75 on Wells Fargo. Not something I want to chase right now. Same thing with Chase. Or Citigroup. It is in the trimming zone here, guys. These levels are where the banks are trimming. Just be careful. And then finally, let's take a look at a few, top losers. Ava. This is a very volatile name. So the thing I see is 3 waves down, ABC, right? Failed impulsive wave, it looks like. This looks pretty bearish, or impulsive. So we could have a swing down here, guys, on AVA, closer down to $22. So just be careful. Just be careful. Red Cat. So Red Cat, not at, it's in the middle of nowhere. I do like a lower around 7. Very volatile names. For bull, this is the last daily swing low, or swing daily set, right? The swing low, possibly 13 would be interesting. But this does look like 5 waves possibly in, guys. So if we take the swing lows from the very bottom, the better levels, if you want to be a little bit more conservative, would be 12 to retest. I mean, look at how high it went from, guys, from the swing lows. It's already up 60% in 1 month. So you just got to be aware of sort of where you are. SBET. Yeah, I mean, coming down to 20 would make sense a little bit. But this, I wouldn't just rely on just straight up fibs, right? You want to go into the lower time frames and try to do some analysis here on where it could land on confluence, right? So 1897. Let's take some one-to-one extensions. I mean, there is confluence around 22 and 18. So interesting. But again, you don't have to catch the knife, guys, because usually it's going to go sideways first before pumping out. So no need to ever catch a knife. So those are sort of the main ideas, guys, moving forward for today. So I look forward to seeing you in Discord. Again, when you come join Discord, you're going to have a great time, guys. Day trade ideas, swing trade ideas, long-term ideas, swing trade signals, option signals for selling puts. You have the long-term portfolio, my 100x baggers account. Look at this, guys. We are up almost 100% on a few of them. And I've been trimming a lot of them as of late. Daily video updates every single morning. Daily charts on exactly across the top tech names, top names. Every morning, every day, it is updated so you guys know exactly what to look out for. Weekly charts as well. You have the general chats, everything that you need here to succeed. So I look forward to seeing you here. The link is in the bio for you to join. And just to give you an idea, right? This is the winning trade on Palantir. Perfect. 152 to 152 entry yesterday, all the way up to 155. Perfect. Ticked it and then went down. So you get all these plays every single morning, guys. And we're absolutely killing it. So I look forward to seeing you here again. And have a great rest of your Tuesday ahead.